Welcome into another Read Out podcast. I am half of your co-hosting duo, Jake. Devin, how we doing tonight?
We're doing good, Jake. Good to be back, and glad to talk sports with you tonight.
Yeah, so we apologize. I know Devin already posted this video, but I had some severe technical difficulties, as per usual, where I just kicked out after like 16 minutes, and Devin sounds like he has severe mental issues and is talking to himself for like an
That's
hour.
normal.
Yeah, right?
That part's normal for me to talk to myself, but it was just dead air, and I was like,
Yeah, so bad.
really, really? But
It's so bad.
hey, it's all part of it, So
Yeah, it's not like we
we'll
actually
get over it.
Yeah, we're not, like you said, we're not pros. It's not like we spent, it's not like I spent $75 on this stupid freaking mic to disconnect halfway through.
Well, and luckily, none of our people have to actually pay for our podcast.
That's true.
YouTube,
iTunes is free. YouTube's
iTunes,
free.
yeah.
Podcentric, all free.
Hey, everybody's got their, thing, so whatever. Nobody had to pay for it, so it wasn't like they lost any money on it.
Right.
So, hey,
Thank God.
hey, I can take that.
Right.
So got some exciting things this week. Of course, I'm excited because Skyrim's coming out for the Nintendo Switch,
Who you?
but we've got other reasons to be excited.
Because we're nerds.
Yeah, well, we're nerds. It's okay.
It's fine.
And I'm probably going to end up getting the Pokemon games that are coming out. It's okay. I'm an
Totally
adult.
fine.
I don't care.
Exactly. I'm a grown ass man. I can't tell
Yeah, I can afford to buy stupid stuff like that now.
That's right.
So we're going to try a new thing on the show. We're going to do our Mount Rushmore. Now, to kind of kick this off, we're going to explain the Mount Rushmore for those of you who don't listen to sports shows and have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, because this damn thing is, this is not original by any means, but it's
No.
really fun, and I love listening to it, so we're going to do it.
And a lot of it's based off opinion.
It's all opinion,
the first one I'm going to do is board games. Okay, these are board games that have a physical board and actually have pieces. If you're going for like greatest of all time, there is actually a list that is Googled. Jake, do you care to take a guess and say 1 through 4? What are the top games?
Oh, so is this just like somebody's opinion, or is this like top selling?
This is Hobby Lark.
Okay, so it's probably
top 10
just
board games of all time.
okay. So the first one I'm gonna say is Monopoly, because
That's number 3.
no, really,
Yes, I was surprised at that
the
too.
game that destroys more friendships than cheating on each other's significant others.
Yes,
Monopoly
the betrayal that comes with Monopoly.
is number 3. Okay,
Yes.
so Monopoly's number 3. All right, I'm gonna say Life is on there.
Nope, not on the top 10, or at least the top 7 that I have pulled up.
Okay, Risk.
Yes, number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
Now, I will tell you, number 1 is not a board game that you would be used to. It is
like Settlers of Catan or something.
that's number 5 actually.
Ha.
No, this game is I played this a lot as a kid.
How old is this game?
It comes from India.
Checkers.
Opposite.
Chess.
Good job.
Okay.
Number 1 is chess.
Well, I just remember because your grandpa is like the king of checkers.
Oh my
And
God!
so when you
yes.
said played that as a kid, I was like, it's got to be checkers. Because Jam Up kicks ass at checkers.
Yes, he was great at checkers. He
Checkers-
still is great at checkers. But
Checkers and Rook.
yes.
And no one's going to know
And
what Rook is.
No, he's. I don't know. If he played poker, he would be awesome.
Yes, he would. Every bit of it.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
No, you're good.
Okay, I'm
Excuse
back.
you. Yeah, great. That's a good
I
sneeze.
actually did take the mic off for that, just so I didn't sneeze into everybody's ear.
Dude,
Um,
because I could still hear it pretty good, so that would like blown an eardrum. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I've been outside working in leaves and dust all day,
God,
so
yeah. Oh, yeah.
yes. So
Yeah,
I'm
heck with
just
that.
my allergies are on point tonight.
Okay,
so
so give me a hint on number 2, because number
you're
3
not gonna
is...
get it. So let me just give it away.
Okay, sure.
Stratego.
Stratego. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I
Well,
disagree-
I
I
don't. I
disagree
couldn't.
with-
I've never played it, so I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to give him a hint for this one.
I
so
would disagree with that and Risk, but whatever.
I agree because I was like, well, we used to play Risk all the time.
All
We
the
really
time.
didn't follow the rules by any means, but we played Risk.
Right, constantly.
And I've never played Stratego.
I've only played it like twice at like sleepovers, and
And
I thought it was weird.
And of course, I love this little list they've got here. Monopoly is a game that either people love it or they hate it, and that is absolutely true.
Yeah. Yeah, or you start out like, okay, yeah, guys, let's play Monopoly. This seems like a good idea. And then by the end of the night, you're like, I hate you, and I hate you, and I hate your family, and we
Yeah,
should
you
get a
just want
divorce.
the game over. You just want it over, basically, by the end
Well,
of
yeah,
the night.
because the last third of the game, like someone has already won. They're not going to lose.
Yeah,
So
somebody's
it's just
got big bucks and they bought all the good stuff,
yeah,
and
for
you're
sure.
like, I'm done with this game. Just let's end it. But yeah, I agree completely. My brother loves this game. I am not a fan. If you had a short way to play, like if somebody owns 20 properties, they win.
Oh,
You know?
I'm sure somewhere someone has invented, like a short campaign style where it's like, all right, first to 20 wins, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, let me give you some fun facts about Monopoly because they're up here.
Oh, okay.
Longest game of Monopoly ever played.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Shoot, I don't know how many hours this is. Let me see.
Oh God, I
They
don't know.
gave me in hours. They didn't give me in days. So let me divide this out real
What kind
quick.
of dumbass?
Yeah.
We're gonna give it to you in hours.
Oh,
Hours and
whoa, whoa,
seconds.
whoa. No, this is not. This is 1,600 hours. That's
1,600
like
hours.
66 days.
Jeez.
In Cuba, when Fidel Castro came into power, he had all Monopoly sets burned.
I mean, that kind
Is
of
that
makes sense.
well capitalism, I guess,
Right?
and
Yeah, exactly.
communism don't
Because
really
they
mix.
purged. Yeah, they purged all of that.
Okay,
Dumb as
here
it
we
is.
go. Here is a fun fact for all of you Monopoly people. If you're playing, these are the ones to buy. The three most landed on squares are Go, B&O Railroad, and Illinois Avenue.
Wasn't that like an orange one?
Illinois is red.
Red. Okay.
I think it's red. Let me see. It's got a
Uh,
picture here. I think it's red. I
I think
can't
it was
read it
red or
from
orange. I don't remember.
New York, St. Charles. Yeah. No, I think it's red.
There you go.
Uh,
Those are like
they're
expensive ones, weren't they? They
they're
weren't
not the
blue.
expensive ones. No, the blues were the most expensive.
Right. Park Place
I
and all
think
those.
green was the next expensive, and yellow was. I think it was blue, green, yellow, red, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been forever since I played Monopoly because I'm not a
Yeah, I
Monopoly
don't
person.
exactly. During World War II, there was a special version of Monopoly for prisoners held by the Nazis. The game included maps, real money, and other items to aid in escape.
Oh, okay. Like sneak it in, and that's pretty
Well, they
cool.
like dropped it in, I'm guessing, and they were like, "Oh, it's just a game. We can play this, right?"
That's
I
pretty cool.
guess that's
I
the
don't
way
know.
I understood that, but
Pretty slick if it worked ever.
exactly. So we'll come back to this a little later.
Yeah.
Um, let's go ahead and jump into other sports.
So which one do you want
Looks
to take?
like I'll take volleyball
Okay.
first. Looks like Lady Volleyball are getting ready for their championships. I don't really have a lot on that.
Oh,
It
okay.
was a
So,
video, so I just skimmed it.
oh no, I can talk a little bit
But
about it.
okay, take it.
So they're the Conference USA championships. Western got screwed and is a number 2 seed, but whatever. Um, they play. I can't remember who they play. But anyways, they are playing Friday night. I don't know how it conflicts with the middle game or the men's basketball game against whoever we're playing on Friday. It's not Kentucky Wesleyan. That's tomorrow night. But anyways, so yeah, they're playing in Diddle. Diddle is hosting it. At least I'm pretty sure it's in Diddle, and it's the whole weekend. It's Friday through Sunday, and we're a 2 seed, which is crap.
Aren't we undefeated in the conference?
Actually, no, I think we dropped one just recently. We broke our like 30 game win streak last week
Uh,
sometime.
yeah, my Chrome is froze up, so I
Ah
have.
well,
Oh wait, here we go. Okay,
it's not
yep,
me this time, thank God.
yeah. Apparently, I just closed two tabs. That's what I wanted to do.
No worries.
But yeah, we're. That's awesome though. I mean, 2 seeds not ideal, but it's at the top.
Yeah,
So
so we don't have to worry about playing, any of the superpower house. Not that they're that many in Conference USA, but any of the decent volleyball schools until later on.
okay, so I'm not sure on how volleyball works.
I got no clue.
Once we finish this tournament, do we go to a bigger tournament?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it works exactly like the regular NCAA tournament where there's a selection show. No details on how to watch that yet, but I'm sure it exists on one of the regional sports networks or online somewhere. They do just like, I don't know if they go out to 64, but they. Hello.
I can't shut it off. I'm sorry. I swear, this never happens. This is the BMW Roadshow, apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I'm never gonna buy a Beamer, but whatever. Good
No,
job,
no, no,
BMW.
me either.
If they want to give us a sponsorship, that's fine. I'm down with that, Beamer.
Yeah.
Listen. You send me one, I'll drive it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, we
Or you
can
give me
we can work that in with the negotiations of our sponsorship.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so after the Conference USA tournament happens, they do a selection show, and you get bids, and then you go play the NCAA tournament wherever that's at.
Is that Nichols we play on the 19th?
Yeah, it might be Nicholls State, the men's basketball plays. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who it was, even though I've got a schedule like right here. I could have just looked at.
No, I just was trying to pull it up. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's great. I don't know.
And that's on Sunday, so it doesn't conflict with.
Yeah. That's not going to conflict, and it's like 6:00 at night. So yeah, that's all good. Looks like Lady Topper basketball is going to play number 6 Notre Dame.
Yep, that's tonight.
And that's going to be rough, I'm going to say.
Yeah,
I mean, we're gonna get beat, but I have complete faith in our Lady Tops, but I also can read numbers, and that's number 6, and I don't think we're ranked.
Which we did just knock off number 16 in the squeaker, so anything can happen on the home floor.
Okay.
Did you not see that?
No,
okay,
I did not.
Okay,
that's
so,
awesome.
On last Friday, the Lady Topper basketball played in like a little invitational kind of start of the season tournament, and they beat number 16 Missouri. I want to say by 2 or 3 points. I don't remember the final score, but yeah, they knocked off number 16 Mizzou. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next one we might not get ranked in the top 25, but we definitely should get some votes.
I mean, that's awesome.
I can tell you, they received 24 votes in this week's top 25 poll. So
that's awesome.
They beat number. When we beat them, they were 16. Currently, they're number 21 because obviously, when you lose to Western, you must suck.
Yeah, you're gonna fall. So that may be a lot closer than we thought.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's on our floor, which is really cool. It's at Diddle. It's tonight. I mean, when you guys are listening to this, the game will probably be over. But yeah, it's at 7:00 in Diddle, 8 Eastern, and I don't know. Coach Clark Harold's got a good squad. A freshman dropped, I want to say like 20-some points or 30 points against Mizzou.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, they are stacked. Like,
hey, that's awesome.
Very good.
Yeah, hey. Go Lady Tops. I hope they get the upset with Notre Dame, but we'll just see. We have our faith in you, Lady Tops. Go for it.
Kill it.
Well, I don't really have a lot of other news. Do you have anything else?
As far as other sports go, or
let me check my headlines. Well, no, just Lady Tops and. Gosh, everything is so slow tonight.
I can just tell you that the Lady Tops recruiting class, so for those of you that follow college basketball, it's the early signing period for NCAA basketball right now. And the Lady Tops signed 3 girls, I'm pretty sure, to the team. One of them is a top 20 player, which is crazy good. But yeah, we signed a top 20 recruit. The Lady Tops did the other day to the early signing period, and also got a girl who's 6'3", which I know doesn't sound super tall, but in women's basketball, that's actually a really good height to have. She's probably going to be, a forward at that height. So Lady Tops basketball is definitely doing good this last couple of years.
Hey, that's awesome. I mean, anytime we get a girl 6'3", I mean, she's taller than I am, so that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not short. I'm like 5'11".
I am
those
very
of you
short.
Who don't know me, yeah. You're like what, 5'6"?
Like 5'6". Yeah, pretty much.
In boots or just flat-footed?
Flat-footed. If you get me in some nice, you get me in them Mucker combat boots, I'm like I'm a solid 5'7". So.
While we're talking Lady Top basketball, it looks like we got Tashia Brown named Conference USA Player of the Week. Senior scored 30 points against Missouri.
Yeah, so that was who it was. I'm sorry, it was her that scored 30 points, and then a freshman, I can't remember her name, but she killed it and scored a boat ton too.
Yeah, see, this is on the Daily News.
Gotcha.
And you cheap people can't let us just read this stuff for free. So I'm just reading headlines on that.
Yeah, dude, seriously though.
Yeah, I mean, it's so aggravating, I mean, I realize that you really want to keep subscribers and stuff, but at the same time, yeah, it's telling me I have to log in, and I can't. I'm not logging in.
Too bad.
Yep, sorry. But yeah, hey. So let's see. Let's talk a little Lady Top, or not Lady Top, Mr. Men's Basketball, Mr.
Mister.
Men's Basketball here. How in the world did we drop one to Missouri State?
Well, okay. So I don't pay for Hilltopper Sports Network, right? So I was just following the GameCast and Twitter because the sellout diddle Hilltopper men's basketball uh, Twitter feed is awesome and they're super fast. They did really well, but that game, just to give you some numbers, right? For the night, we only shot 39.3% from the field total.
Oh wow,
That's not
wow,
threes. Our, you know what? Our three percentage was 38.1. That should never be that
wow.
close. So we shot like crap. We came out and got down, like gave them a 20 some odd point lead. Uh, it was, God, it was like 26-4 going into like the first media time. It was insane how poorly they just and I don't know if it was just first game jitters. I will say, in defense of Missouri State, they're a top 60 team ranked number 58 by CBS Sports in the initial preseason rankings, and they have a guy. I want to let me bring up his name right here.
You talking about JT Miller?
I'm talking about Elise Johnson,
Oh,
who's a
okay.
senior for them. He's a 6'9", 212-pound forward. He is projected as a first-round draft pick this year in the NBA draft. So
Oh, wow.
there were almost a dozen, according to some reports, NBA scouts in Diddle that night to watch him play. Now, he only played 14 minutes and went 4 for 8 with 13 points, so he didn't actually, perform up to the standards that he normally is. However,
Yeah.
he straight slayed, or he will slay probably at the NBA, so he's gonna get drafted. So that's part of it. Um, but what that game showed me was twofold. One, that even without a deep bench, you're talking about 8 active players. Okay, this
Hey,
team can
yeah.
run. Like they straight up they have legs. It's kind of wild because I mean if you look, they played 10 guys, right? Uh, we played 8, and one of those, T.J. Miller, was a walk-on, former
Yeah.
walk-on.
Yeah.
To come back and only lose by 5, I hate losing. I hate losing. But especially on our home floor opener,
Well, even to Missouri State. Are they in the Missouri Valley Conference
yeah,
or
they're
what?
probably gonna win the Missouri Valley this year.
Oh, especially with that performance, and if they keep it up, I mean,
Yeah,
that's easily.
they're a tournament team. I mean, like I said, they're a top 60 team. They're pretty damn good, to be honest with you. A lot better than I thought before I started looking at them. But you got Lamonte Bearden coming off the bench, and the only reason he came off the bench is because with that ankle injury that he has had, um, the other guys who have been starting kind of earned the starting time. But he came off the bench, played 30 minutes, and had 24 points, 6 of 12 field goals, 3 from 3-point range, 5 rebounds, an assist, and only 1 foul. Now, speaking of fouls, here's the funny thing. I know I'm just kind of going to ramble, but according to, it's either Sagarin or Kempom, I don't remember which one, but one of the advanced statistical measures for college basketball, uh, your boy Darius Thompson, um, he got five fouls in the game, right? So he fouls out, but
Yep.
he is averaging um he's averaging, if you like do it out by quarter, he's averaging like something like 16 fouls if you go by like per minute played. How fast he got how fast he got to 5. It's like 5 fouls every 60 minutes. He's leading the nation in like fouls per game right now. It's like it's gonna
So he's now known as the enforcer. I'm
pretty
gonna write that down.
pretty much because the dude. I mean, he's a monster. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, he scored 19 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. But dude,
And
and
what was this guy's name again?
oh, our boy, his name, he's one of the grad transfers, Darius Thompson, and he's not even like that big of a guy. He's one of our guards.
So Darius T is now known as the enforcer.
Works
We're
for
gonna
me.
we're gonna start that. We're gonna get that circling around Twitter and everything, calling him the enforcer. Uh, but yeah, hey, that's awesome. I'm sorry, I like physical play because I'm a football guy. So anytime somebody goes in there and fouls
Well,
out,
we
I'm
got,
like,
I mean, we got guys that are
congratulations.
playing physical because Dwight Colby, another one of the transfers, our forward, he had 4 personal fouls. So I mean, and
Yeah.
he's the big dog. He's 6'9", 245. So they're like the twin like enforcer brothers. They're like the twin bouncers, the two old guys that are just gonna beat your ass when you
Let's
misbehave.
see. Let's see. I understand the difference in personal and regular fouls, but I just think it's funny. It's just a name. It's personal.
Yeah, personal foul. Like in other stuff, like personal foul and foul like mean something, whereas in basketball, everything's just it's a personal foul, and you're just like,
Yeah, because he didn't like the way you talked to him before the game, so he made
it's
it personal.
right?
And you're like,
Whereas
really?
in football, there's
Really?
like, yeah, offsides, that's a penalty, but like a personal foul is when
Well,
you spin someone's face around.
well, yeah, football. I mean, if you get a unsportsmanlike conduct or something like that, I mean, that's really a foul.
Right.
I mean, but it,
Like
yeah,
teabagging
sorry.
a guy. But no, yeah.
Exactly.
So, boy, that'd be funny to see. I don't care if you got thrown out of the game. You're up 30, just do it.
Yeah. Hey, I would be fine if they did that against MTSU.
So fine with that. We'll get to that. It's freaking mutts.
Yes.
But yeah, Hilltower basketball. Even though we lost, this team's got heart. This team's got legs. And if we can ever get the NCAA to rule on Josh Anderson and MD Yang, like that way we'll actually have a true like two true centers. Well, honestly, one true center and some big forwards. If we can ever get him cleared, then we'll have some serious legs. Then we'll be at full strength. We'll be at 11 guys or at 10 guys, and we'll be able to really bring the heat to some teams.
That's great. Looks like I'm going to kind of skip on you a little bit.
No, you're good.
Looks like Rick Stansberry has added 5 to the 2018-2019 roster.
Yes, so he has. Let me find.
Do you know the names?
Yeah, I'll get you the names right now, because I'm also going to talk about the guy they just signed today.
Yeah, he is the 4-star
Prospect. His name
Delano
Banton.
Banton.
Yeah, Delano Banton. He's a 6'7". Some other sites say 6, but anyways, guard. And he actually, a lot of times we talk about like football, they haven't committed, their verbal commits, whatever. He actually signed his letter of intent today.
Yep.
So he's in, as long as he, wants to actually play college basketball, unlike he who shall not be named. So he's going to sign.
Exactly.
He's going
I refuse to name that guy during this show, but
not
sorry.
Gonna talk about it. So he signed his letter of intent, and he actually was going to be in the 2019 class, but he was able to get Stansberry was able to work some voodoo and get him to come play on this team for 2018. So next year, they say he's a guard at 6'7". You're talking about anywhere from a 2 guard to a 3 maybe even a small 4. He's super fast. He's averaging 30 points a game right now at his high school, and that's this early in the season. It's crazy. He's a 4-star prospect. He's ranked right in the 90s.
Looks like 93 by Rivals and 99 by 24/7 Sports.
Right, exactly. So you're talking about a top 100 guy, which is crazy awesome. These are the type of guys that can elevate the program. Everybody talks about, okay, well, Western might not need to get 5 stars, but you don't need 5 stars to win a championship. Do you think that Archie Diacono from that little guard from Villanova was a 5-star? No. You don't need NBA players to win. You just need a good squad of guys. I mean, hell, Rick only had a couple when he went and won a national championship. Like, Duke's old teams didn't have NBA players on them half the time. And who knows, these 4 stars may be. But these are the kind of guys that are higher end for Conference USA. This guy had offers from Kansas State, Minnesota, UMass. Like basketball schools. Hell, Baby Patino was going after him, so that's a good steal for Stans. I'm super pumped for this next season. So the other guys are Matthew Horton and Galen Smith. So those are forwards. And then you've got guards Trevelyan Queen and Jeremiah Gambrell as well. So that makes 5. And this guy's kind of in the between on size. Matthew Horton and Galen Smith are pretty big old boys. So
hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet.
Yep, but I won't touch what you just said earlier. I'll be nice and I'll leave it alone.
That's what she said.
I'll leave it alone. Looks like men's basketball is going to play Kentucky Wesleyan. Is that the 15th? Am I right?
Yeah, that's tomorrow night. Yep.
That's tomorrow night. Oh, wow. Okay,
Yep,
so this is
tomorrow
kind of a
at 7.
pregame show for that.
That's right. 7 Central, 8 Eastern. That'll be on Hilltopper Sports Network.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a nice little plug for them. Yep, we got Nichols on the 19th. And let's see, football plays. Is that the 19th? No, that's Sunday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, they're gonna play, I guess, the
I
17th,
gotta.
which is that
Yes.
Friday night.
I can't get my calendar to pull up. Okay, yeah, there we
Yes,
go.
they're
Yeah,
gonna play
the
on Friday,
17th.
which is a weird one, but
We always play MTSU on weird nights. I
yeah,
feel like that's a thing. And is it on ESPN or anything?
I do not know. I was just looking at the
I hold on. I think I put it on the script here. Let me check real quick. But yeah, I mean that's always how it goes.
I mean, we're Conference
And
USA. They always play at least one. Like we usually have a Thursday night opener, right? Like I was at Rice a couple years ago. I have a Thursday and like La Tech Thursday night opener, and then like a rival game on Friday. But what are you gonna do?
it's on CBS Sports Network.
Okay, so it's on
Eight
regional, so you
eight
can get it.
Eastern, 7. Yeah, exactly. We can. Well, I can't get it. I don't think I've got the cheap man, the poor man cable network
Okay,
up here. So
I'm gonna give you a little and any listeners that have stuck with us or who watch this, if we section this up, this is gonna be the one you want because I have found the greatest pirating site
all right, I'm gonna have to write this
for
down.
ESPN and literally any sporting event. It's called,
Awesome.
and I can send you the link later, but for the listeners, it's VIPBoxTV.me. VIPBoxTV.me. And it lists like every sporting event. Like I watched what is your dog murdering a small child?
Yes. No, she is murdering her toy.
Oh, okay. But
And
yeah.
she just decided to come down here and sit with me and
Oh, okay, well,
squeak
good.
her toy
Well,
right next to my chair. So
dude, there's a great video of these like squeaky ducks that make this terrible like screaming noise
yes,
online, and Adam Savage from MythBusters put together like 50 of them in like this quick release box, and it's so stupid, but it's so funny.
have you seen? Speaking of squeaky duck things, have you seen the one where they're doing like there's a drill in the military where you have to remain completely professional and stand at attention without smiling or anything. And they're kind of, I think it's like training for like the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And they walk up behind them and they squeak the toy just to try and make them laugh and break
I
character.
couldn't do it.
Oh my
I
God,
couldn't
no!
do
I'd
it.
be done. They would squeak it on somebody else, and I'd start giggling and walk
Yeah,
off.
yeah, just like
Like,
nope,
nope,
sorry, I'll do whatever else you need me to do, but I can't give this the respect it deserves. I'm sorry.
exactly. Yeah. So, do you have anything else for basketball since we're kind of pre-gaming this?
No, I don't have a lot. Kentucky Wesleyan, it's really good to play other in-state schools. I think there should be an in-state Kentucky D1 like basketball tournament. UK and U of L will never let it happen, but I honestly think WKU, UK, U of L, Moorhead, and Murray, and NKU now that they've moved up into a Division One basketball ought to play some in-state games every year. I mean, I know Kentucky played Center and
Yeah, they play
did
center.
they play Murray this year? Or did they play Moorhead?
No, they played Moorhead. I
They played
know, but I don't
Moorhead,
know if
yeah.
they played Murray.
No, I don't think they played Murray. MTSU just beat
No.
Murray. Murray's pretty good. I doubt Kentucky would actually want to play them unless they were forced to. The big schools, U of L and
I'm
UK don't really schedule.
well. I can understand that too, because yes, it's good for us, and it's a win-win for Kentucky for Western to play Kentucky or Louisville for that matter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not a win-win for them. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah, because if you don't even if you win, if you don't win by 20, then everybody's freaking out.
Well, even if they win by 40, it's like, well, that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, you can't. There's no positive. It's like, oh, okay, well
Yeah,
then. I mean, the Hawks will
and then
spin it as positive, but
well, if you lose, then it's like, oh, well, okay.
write them off.
Yeah, I can't find their exhibition games. I hate how ESPN does that.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Kentucky played Center and a couple
I
of
know
them.
they
And
played
they played
center. I
Center
know
and
they
Moorhead.
played Moorhead for the exhibition donation charity game,
Yeah, they
and that
won't
was actually
televise, which is so stupid.
well. I tell you what, that was actually really cool of them
Yeah, no,
because
I'm
not
definitely on board with
not
the raising
the
money.
yeah, well, the raising the money, but they kind of threw all the season ticket holders under the bus.
Yeah, because they opened it up.
They opened it up and said, your season tickets aren't good. You need to buy tickets. And so people who would like normally sit up top for like God knows how much could sit on the floor for like $250.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet because you can't get
That
floor
is
seats.
really sweet. No, you can't get floor seats because some old codger who's had it for 60 years isn't giving it up. And when he dies, his kids won't give it up either. They'll just keep saying that's his ticket.
Yep, just keep buying
But
them, keep renewing them.
exactly, yeah, just keep doing it. Good for it. Okay, let's talk Marshall. I, I, okay. I'm going to start with my rainbow, and then I'll go to my thunderstorm.
Okay.
Rainbow. The good part of the game is we did a lot better than I thought we would.
Fair enough. Yep.
First and fourth quarter, we did a lot better than I thought we were going to do.
And it was a comeback
Um,
game. It really was.
it was. I expected the game to be a lot more blown out. I expected it to be a 35-16, 35-20.
And it was for a lot of the game. It was 30-16 at one point.
Yeah, and I was checking scores, doing GameCast because I'm not doing BN Sports. I'm sorry, I'm not paying for something else.
That's so bad.
Yeah, that's such a expletive
Yeah,
thing
right.
right there. But that's my sunshine. That the guys kept it up. They didn't give up in the fourth quarter like they have the past few games. They
Yep.
kept pushing and they kept plugging, and even had a score there in the last 3 minutes. Sorry about that. And that's awesome. So I applaud the guys for that. Now my thunderstorm. This is bull. Okay. Let me tell you, first off, anybody who has ever played football in their entire life, anybody who's ever coached, anybody who's ever watched the game for more than 2 weeks would know that you've got 3 minutes to go in the game. You do not kick it deep.
Yeah, when you're
I
down.
could fart
We were
around.
down.
I could fart around and walk 100 yards in 3 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
Let me tell you. Okay, first off, that would probably be moving actually. But where was the onside kick? And then he stands behind his decision, saying, "I was going to let our defense try and pin them in." Has your defense got to stop all night?
Nope.
Flip no. I was I was frustrated when I saw the game cast, and it's like whoever the kid's name was for Marshall, he gets the kick at the 4 and he runs it to the 43, and I was like, what? There had to have been miscommunication there. There had to have been something where somebody wasn't thinking, and somebody's going to get chewed for this. And then it's like,
Nope, that was just a
no,
decision.
Coach Sanford decided that it was a great idea to do that. Now, granted, if the defense had got the stop, that would have been fine, and everybody would have been like, "Oh, that was a great call, Coach. Good job, woohoo!" But guess what? It wasn't the right call.
Well,
that was the worst decision. That is just reflective of this entire season, for that matter, because everything that he's done up until this point, he's tried to defend what he's been doing, and guess what, Coach? It's not working.
Amen.
I've stood behind you this entire time, and I have said, let's give him a chance, let's give him a chance. But guess what? This is stupidity. Stupidity, stupidity, stupidity. And let me tell you, it's got to go. It's not going to work here. Okay.
Amen.
Thunder's over.
do you want to?
But
I can talk about another stupid thing and get mad.
Well,
there was another stupid thing that he did.
There was another stupid thing. Are you talking about the personnel?
I'm talking about putting in Mr. Eccles.
Now throwing Eccles under the bus was my other thunder that I was really peeved about. In the was it the Daily News?
Yeah, I can't
It was
remember
one of
what
the
it was.
post-game reviews. He blamed the Rhythm latest loss on Eccles basically going out. Now that's not, on the scale of blaming personnel, that's not a Gillespie thing. Which, if anybody who knows anything about that knows how bad he is.
Oh, Billy
But that
I think
wasn't
he's
a Gillespie
at like a high
thing.
school now.
Last I heard, he was like, "Yeah, I don't even care."
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even care. Sorry, I'm trying to take a drink to kind of kill my cough. But first off, he's not throwing him under the bus saying, "Hey, this is Eccles' fault we lost." He's saying, "Hey, if we'd had this quarterback run game that Eccles Lipper has been doing, that we would have been better off." And that's not the case.
Yeah, so when he put Drew Eccles in on the second drive, for those of you that weren't, they didn't watch or weren't paying attention, the first drive of the game looked like the WKU of old. Mike White marches him down the field, 70-something yards, scores a touchdown. We had absolutely no running game on the first drive, but we smacked it a couple of times for some short runs and then just aired it out. Most of them were actually fairly long passes. We were able to burn them because our receivers are very good, and Mike White's pretty darn good for a quarterback, especially in Conference USA. The very next, so we go down, we hold them to a field goal, right? So bend not break defense, props to the guys. Then instead of continuing what had worked when we lit them up and marched 70-some-odd yards down the field, we put in Drew Eccles, who there's nothing wrong with Drew Eccles as a quarterback. I think next year, if they coach him up, he's going to be a fine quarterback, and he's going to fit the system better. Do not misunderstand me. I don't like to blame players.
Yeah.
But
No.
when one guy marches you down the field and you kick ass and take names, and then you put in a guy who he's not warmed up, he's not hot, he hasn't been, going step, hit, and you make him throw an incomplete, run the ball for almost no gain, then toss the ball. Well, he just got tackled. Now you're going to make him throw the ball, incomplete pass, and then some third down bullshit run. Like, no. Look, if you don't establish, listen, that's been one of the problems, and you've talked about it, and it makes perfect sense. You can't just bomb it all the time, because if you can't run the ball, then the passing game suffers. I completely understand that. But at some point, you have to realize that we have the worst WKU rushing offense in 50 years, and you have to just do what had worked for you. Even if the first one had resulted in 3 points or had been a little troublesome, you need to get one of your quarterbacks in a rhythm. And when your players are in a rhythm and stuff is functioning, you don't go and screw it up with throwing another guy in. Next year is an open competition at quarterback. Steven Duncan Jr. is a big hoss. Drew Eccles is kind of a bigger guy. But, damn it, do not screw up Mike White's last time to play in the Moonshine Throwdown. And that's exactly what he did. And to just for more fun, Mike White passed for 28 of 41 for 334 yards and a touchdown. The dude led us back from the brink of like a 30-16 loss.
I've got him on 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, sorry, 3 touchdowns. Did I say 2?
Yeah, you're good.
3 touchdowns.
But I agree completely.
Ridiculous. It's just pure stupidity.
I mean, he's firing on all cylinders and drives the length of the field on Marshall's defense.
Which has a good defense.
They're probably the best defense in Conference USA right now.
Them and FAU are the 2 best, without a doubt.
I don't know about FAU's defense, because I think they're like the basketball school who just scores as much as they can and hopes the other team can't catch up.
Well, that's fair. They're pretty good at takeaways, I guess.
But like I've been saying all season, they haven't taken the time to develop the run game. So, like anybody who's worked out lifting, if you only do arms or you only do legs, you're going to look retarded.
Yep.
Okay? You're going to look pear-shaped, or you're going to look like a bulldog.
Yeah. Exactly. Going to look like you're riding a damn ostrich.
Well, it shows. And the big thing for me, past weekend, Kentucky played Vandy.
Yep.
Kentucky's got a better record than us. They play a lot better teams. Granted, they're in the SEC, but they beat Vandy on the ground. They made their running back look like a beast, and he is, I won't say the best by any means, because he's not the best, but he looked really, really good against Vandy.
He's had 3 great games in a row. That's where he's
exactly. Exactly. He's had 3 great games in a row, and we're sitting at, number 10, 11? We're at the 11th game of the year?
Yeah.
So, no reason for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
where do you,
go ahead.
Just had a question. Like, where do you think that leaves? I mean, there's a lot of people that are on the Fire Sanford train, like, already. Like, throw him out. Where do you think that leaves in leash-wise for the rest of his contract?
Well, as far as, I mean, I don't know what the buyout is for Sanford.
It's it's about $1.5 million. I looked it up the other day.
Well, it's still not that bad, but Western still isn't going to want to pay it. They have no cause to fire him, really. I mean, I know a losing season is not great, but one losing season isn't going to be cause.
Right.
As bad as I hate to say that, it's not cause.
Correct.
We're most likely negative side of this. 5-7 for the year.
Yep, it's looking like it.
Not going bowling. ESPN has Western beating TSU on their little predictor. We're at like 54-45. So I think Western, if they come to play, they can do well.
I mean, Western can beat MTSU. Let's be real. Brent Stockstill is back, but he's still kind of squishy because he hasn't been able to condition as much. He's still soft. You can crack that sternum right back open. And Richie James, hate it for you, bud. Sit your butt down. And Richie James, their star, NFL draft pick receiver, is probably still a little ginger. I don't even know if he's back, to be honest with you. So it's a winnable game, but you just don't have the momentum that you would want coming into our rivalry game.
Now, I will say, on the leaders, the season leaders, they've got that Urzua
Right,
for MTSU.
Well, yeah,
he's thrown more interceptions than we have.
Yeah.
He's got 9 interceptions, so that looks good for us.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm telling you, Brent Stockstill's going to start.
Probably, and you're probably right. But this is just what I'm looking at on the leaders. So if Stockstill or whatever his name is, if he comes back in or if he goes back out, then we got Urza.
Well, that's what you hope.
I'd rather have Urza.
Yeah, you want to put him out.
Yeah, looks like Anderson is their big boy running back. He's got 491 yards for the season. And T. Lee, they don't put first names, so it's Lee, 732 yards, 5 TDs. And of course, Yelder's our leader, and I'm hoping Yelder comes to play because I love watching him play.
He's good receiving tight end.
Yes, he is. He's an awesome receiving tight end. Do a quick stat. I know you told Mike White 28-41, 333 yards, 3 TDs. Mm-hmm. I'm not even mentioning the rushing game because it was a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like Looper had 9 receptions, about 100 yards, almost 100 yards. TD. Mm-hmm. Fant, I don't even know where he came from. These past 2 games, he kind of reappeared. And then Lucky, where's Lucky?
Yeah, he had a heck of a game against. He had a resurgent game either last week or the week before, and he's dropped off again. He was supposed to be our guy coming in the season, and I don't know if he ticked off Coach Sanford or wasn't working in practice. I don't know where he's went.
It's not an injury-related thing, is it? Or do you know?
No, he hasn't been hurt, or at least they haven't said he's been hurt. Now, they don't always tell the truth, but no, I don't know if it's just he didn't work hard in practice or he ticked off the coaching staff. I mean, with these guys, with this coaching staff,
there's no telling.
Yeah, you can't tell. I mean,
but yeah, it's like you said, he was supposed to be one of our better ones, and our receiving core, the 4 leaders, is Looper, Fant, Yelder, and Jernigan.
God, I love that last name.
Jernigan's awesome. I'm sorry.
Well, Jernigan and Sloan are young cats. So, I mean, I will say a positive of, that we can take away moving forward is that the receiving core is in good shape. Now, whether or not we have a fellow that can throw to him, that remains to be seen. But the core of actual weapons, is in pretty good shape. I'm not sure if Stephen Wachowski, the young tight... Yeah, I know, right?
Is it Steven or Mike?
Right?
Yeah, nobody's going to get that.
Yeah, sure they will. We grew up with Monsters, Inc. Come on now.
There we go.
Yeah, that probably killed some dog in the room. I hope you got your headphones in because poor Chloe and Sammy just be like, what the hell is that?
Oh, God, yes.
But
I think I can hear him howling right now.
Probably.
But yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
But yeah, Stephen Wachowski is his name. I think he might be more of a blocking tight end, which, I mean, suits Stanford's system fine.
Yeah.
But the receiving core is in great shape moving forward.
Now this total yard stat is really depressing me.
Oh God.
And it might make me boil back over. WKU 334 yards passing versus Marshall's 190. Rushing, Western had 34 yards.
God.
Let that sink in for a minute. Yep. 34 yards. It's not even a full football field, guys. This is ridiculous.
That's 3.5 first downs, man.
Yeah. It's not even enough to score.
Nope.
Marshall, 144 yards. Total yards here. Let this sink in for you guys. 368 yards versus Marshall's 334 yards. We had 34 yards more than they did. That is ridiculous.
And no reason for that. And you know what's sad is that I'm pretty certain that this is a thing that has happened to us several times this season, that we've outgained opponents substantially in yardage and then still dropped the ball and still lost the game.
And we still fall short. Exactly. Yeah. I can't think of 2 or 3 off the top of my head, but yeah, I agree 100%. I think that has happened. I think it was almost the case at FAU. They did score 2 or 3 real quick touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but I think right before that, I think we were up there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Looks like MTSU. Yeah, we've kind of previewed them a little bit.
Oh yeah.
We've got the 100 Miles of Hate. Gotta love it.
Okay, so this is a question. This has been brought up all over Twitter, and so I follow. There's 3 guys or 3 accounts that I really like that do Western related stuff. I got the Towel Rack, which is Western only stuff. You've got the Moonshine Throwdown, which is the name of the Marshall Western, the new rivalry, right? Between a Kentucky and a West Virginia school, which I love that Moonshine Throwdown. There's a mason jar now that a big mason jar. Literally, the Marshall has it now, right, with like their gear in it. We had it for 2 years, and then there's the 100 Miles of Hate, which is the historic rivalry. Now I have an opinion on which one of the and that's a Twitter account, 100 Miles of Hate guy has been running great polls all week long. Now I have an opinion on which one that I think is the better rivalry. But there's apparently some debate about whether the Moonshine Throwdown, the new hotness, or the old standby 100 Miles of Hate is better. What do you think?
I'm 100 Miles of Hate.
Amen.
All the way. Let me tell you, I didn't get to enjoy the Moonshine Throwdown rivalry, but I did get to enjoy the MTSU rivalry. And let me tell you, I hated those guys. Even from somebody who didn't even play and just stood on the sidelines, I hated them. Let me tell you, first off, the facilities at MTSU, unless they have changed them, they suck for visiting teams.
I doubt Johnny Red Floyd Stadium has changed that much. It still looks like garbage.
It is. You literally sit right out there like you're a concession stand. I mean, our training room was literally like right outside. We taped everybody within earshot of fans. And I think I've told the story before.
Yeah, I was about to say, tell the story about what happened.
I think that was the year that Bobby Rainey scored. I think it was Bobby. Either he threw a touchdown or he scored. It was like the last minute of the game, last few seconds of the game when we were playing MTSU, and I think Elson was coaching. And we beat them. That kind of ignited the new 100 Mile of Hate rivalry. And, anyway, we were going into halftime, and at all college events, it never fails that there's going to be one drunk asshole, basically.
I have been that gentleman, I will say. Yep. But I have never done this because I've got more sense than that.
This goofy dude tries to walk in our locker room, and one of our offensive line coaches grabs him up basically by the hair of his neck, and he's like, "What do you think you're doing?" And he's like, "I'm going to the bathroom." And he's like, "No, you're not. Not in there, you're not." And he takes him and he spins him around and throws him away. But it was great. It was just
I just would love
it was
to
one of
see
those
that.
funny things.
I got paid.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
Forrest, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you go on, dude. Where do you think you're at? Just because we're in Murfreesboro didn't mean anything.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I like here's how I judge it, right? Like, granted, we had that one like terrible Marshall fan couple of dudes at that game where almost got us in a fight. Thank God I was sober that game, because if I'd have been drunk, it would have been a problem. But like, okay, those guys sucked. But down in front of us were some young cats from Marshall, right? I think there were students that had traveled and were kind of sitting in the general admission and not over in the fan section. And they were nice guys. Like they even turned around. I remember there's a blonde guy who stood most of the game, and he was like, he told the old guy, "Dude, shut up."
Yeah.
Like was actually trying to be a good fan. And and even though I was mad at the dude, I was like, "Man, fuck Marshall." Looking back on it, I don't have a lot of hatred for Marshall. But MTSU, God, the Mutts, I just, ugh.
Yep. I'm with you, dude. Marshall is one of those, if they weren't a conference rival, it wouldn't, I really wouldn't care.
Right, exactly. Like, what do we, we're like 4 hours away. They're in the mountain town, and, they're more like West Virginia should be worrying about them, or like Eastern Kentucky, like somebody closer to home.
Yeah.
But when they're the historic Conference USA, I mean, it's hard to argue, the We Are Marshall Conference history. They've done really well. Was it late 90s? They were ranked and like crazy good, and then we ruined their undefeated perfect season, which was awesome at their house. But
that was
our first
14.
year in conference. Yeah, it was our first year in Conference USA.
Yes.
It was 67 to 66. I want to say it was that score.
Yep, we beat them by 1.
And that was the game where Jeff Brom, to his credit, told them go out there and start a fight. It was like that first scene out of Braveheart. He told him, go pick a fight because we got to throw them off because they'll kick our ass if we don't. And that's what their running back coach said, because he actually came to coach for Brom last year. And he said, no, literally, he said, when you started that fight, when your guys pushed our guys, because Western started it. Make no mistake, Western started intentionally. He's like, our guys were just mad and couldn't finish. That's what it was. He said, I knew we lost the game then. I was
I'm
like, heck
sorry,
yeah.
but I'm just picturing Brom riding a horse with a kilt on, with like his face painted
Yeah.
blue.
Where are you going? I'm going to start a fight.
Exactly. That's a great image for me. Speaking on the 100 miles of hate, looks like MTSU sits at -3.
Yeah,
For those of you who don't speak betting, that means that they're going to win by 3,
Yep,
is what
3-point
the
faves
money
right
line
now.
sits at.
We'll see.
Yep.
It may change before game time. If anything, I think it's going to swing more towards MTSU, but not a lot of people are betting on it, so I would imagine the points won't move that much.
Is it home or away?
It's at home.
That may not be
it's on
bad.
Fikes. I mean, so if you look at the Sagarin ratings, like they do. I don't know what their numbers are right now because I'm not fooling with my internet. But the Sagarins usually give 3 points of advantage to the home team. So if you take into account the Sagarins, it's probably about like, a coin flip at this point. But like you say, as far as the people putting the money down, it's about 3 points in MTSU's favor right now.
Hey, I'm good with it. I'll
That's
take
anybody's
3.
game.
I'll take 3. It's better than 10 or 20 or whatever.
Yeah, God.
And looks like we said earlier, that game's going to be on the CBS Sports Network, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and we'll be glad to try and post an update to that game after on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're going to do a little Mount Rushmore here. Jake, why don't you try? I'm going to let you take this Mount Rushmore, and I'll try and throw in and see what we got.
Okay, so do you want me to do my Mount Rushmore my
You
Western
go right
experience?
ahead.
Okay, so I was in a fraternity for 2 years at Western. I joined my junior year and kind of slacked off my super senior year because I took a victory lap. I'm sure the fraternity had nothing to do with that. But anyways, one of the things, and this is college in general, it's not just a Greek thing, but Greeks get the stereotype for it, was consuming various types of adult beverages, frosty wheat sodas, as Captain Suntan likes to say, or just straight up booze. Like, we consumed quite a bit of alcohol. So what I've decided is I wanted to do my Mount Rushmore of booze experiences or types of drinks that I think belong on the WKU Mount Rushmore, right? You're at
Okay.
Hilly's or a house party. These are the quintessential 4 drinks or 4 types of liquor, 4 types of drinks that you're going to see. And I'm actually now going to re-rank them because I just wrote them down as I thought about them. So the bottom of my list, which I do not drink, but I recognize its prominence, is bourbon / whiskey and some kind of Coke, dark,
Okay.
whatever,
Yeah,
Pepsi,
okay,
Coke,
yeah.
whatever. Whiskey and Coke, it's classic, it's cheap, lots of people like it, and it gets you totally screwed really fast. And it's great.
On that note, I'll give you an example of a drink. Have you heard of a Buckaroo?
You've told me this, but I
A
can't
Buckaroo is rum and root beer.
remember.
And let me tell you, oh my gosh, dude,
Sweet as
that
sugar.
stuff. Well, it's not really sweet. If depending on how you mix it, but the rum is sneaky, sneaky. The rum will literally. I think I had like 1 or 2 one night, and my wife, girlfriend at the time, I went to stand up and go get me some more chili or whatever I was eating, and I was like, oh, I was standing in front of the pot like getting more chili, and I'm like, where's the bowl?
He looks like a snake charmer. He's just moving back and forth.
Back and forth.
Well, and you know how it
nice
is, too.
and
Like,
easy.
if you drink sitting down and don't move for a minute and then you stand up, that's when it hits you. Like, it's for some reason when the blood rushes when you use your legs, like, uh-oh. It's about to be a bad time. So whiskey and Coke, the only reason I say that is because I got burned on whiskey real bad one time when I was a freshman, and now I'm just a sissy. I can't drink it. I just can't drink bourbon. Call me a traitor, whatever. I do think that you should drink Kentucky stuff if you live in Kentucky before you should drink Tennessee swill, but whatever, to each his own. The next one that I have is cheap beer. Whatever your
There
cheap
you go.
beer choice is. The Milwaukee's Beast, Milwaukee's Best, as we call it. The cheapest one I've ever seen, which if you most people don't know about this guy. This is for pure alcoholics only. Beer 30. It comes in a purple can with a clock on it. It's the cheapest
Really?
beer yeah, it's beer 30. Don't ever try it. You got your Natty Lights, which is the Fratty Light, which is the very famous one, and your Coors and your Bud Lights. But cheap beer will fuck you up. And my favorite line ever is the "Hold my 30, bro," because that's a joke from a random internet video. Hold my 30, bro. Google it if you want to see it. It's pretty good. But that's a
funny.
legit thing. I have held a half-empty 30 pack for a fraternity brother of mine while he goes to talk to women. Jake, guard my cooler, man. Hold my 30. So you got cheap beer. The next one is the most destructive of all of them. I like to call it Death Mix. I get this from Tucker Max. I learned about it when I was 18 reading I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. Hilarious book. Probably totally fake, but great. This is a mixture of vodka, Red Bull, and Gatorade. Little science lesson. If you mix vodka is we all know what vodka is. Fucks you up. Red Bull has a shit ton of caffeine in it and vasodilators, which makes your blood vessels go shoop, so the alcohol goes in there faster and your heart beats faster, so you get drunker quicker. If you mix that with Gatorade, which has electrolytes and other vasodilators that makes your blood flow better and gets chemicals into your bloodstream faster, you're talking about the most destructive shit you have ever seen in your life. So if you're going on the cheap and you need to get drunk real fast, Death Mix, vodka, Red Bull, and Gatorade. And my favorite and the funniest one we ever had is questionable unidentified hooch. So if you've ever been to a house party or ever been to any party really between the ages of 18 and 24, you'll know that there's either coolers or, in our trashy case, big troughs, big plastic troughs where you literally just put – oh, dude. So we made this stuff. It's called Slow Turtle. Take notes, children. Slow Turtle is a mixture of pure grain alcohol, typically golden grain because it's cheaper, peach schnapps because apparently that has alcohol in it even though it doesn't taste like it does, and Sunny D. If you mix all of this, and not Tampico, damn it. No Tampico. We about kicked a dude, we about kicked a pledge's butt for bringing us not Sunny D. But we called it Slow Turtle because it's sneaky. You start drinking it, and it sneaks up on you like a little slow turtle, and before too long, you have won the race to shit in your pants at the end of the night. So that's mine is whiskey and Coke, cheap beer, Death Mix, and questionable unidentified hooch. That's my Mount Rushmore of alcoholic drinks at WKU.
That is awesome. I can't say that I have taken part in a lot of those. I am a proud whiskey drinking Kentuckian. I don't drink all the time because of work and other reasons. And
we're just getting old.
Yeah, and we're getting old, and I just really don't care to drink. But I do like to support my local Jim Beam distillery. Go Jim Beam. I do support Jack, and I do support
Trader.
Well, I know it's Tennessee stuff, but
it's also cheap, so you can't.
And both of us are very susceptible to colors, and black on white is just, I don't know what it is.
I like
it. Just draws me in. It's
so
cool.
I like black on white. It's good. It's nice.
And I blame Anthony Stidham for this next one, Crown Royal.
Oh God, Crown Royal. Oh God.
Well, you know why?
Because those stupid bags he carried around everywhere.
Yes, but I thought the bags were so cool.
Yeah,
yes.
Velvet bags. Yeah, especially if you get like a black one. Like, oh man, those are like the black label. That was the coolest.
Dude, those are expensive as all get out too.
Oh, the black label's like $60. Like it's.
Yeah, no thanks.
For
not paying that
whiskey.
much. I have mixed that with Mountain Dew, and let me tell you, whew.
Good Lord, yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you all know VIPBoxTV.me. Just again, letting y'all know so you can try and watch the pirated WKU football game.
It sometimes for the smaller ones, it's not the best. And make sure, for the love of God, put an ad blocker on because
oh my gosh,
ad blocker and antivirus. I cannot stress that enough. It's like going to the house of ill repute on the bad end of town, right? You might have a good time, but you need to be protected because you don't want to come home with something. So just throwing that out there. Be careful. Be quick on the trigger and have that ad blocker and that antivirus.
So. Oh, speaking of what you're just talking about.
Speaking of hookers?
No, not speaking of hookers, but ad blockers and such. I tried to watch Thor Ragnarok on my wife's favorite pirating website, which I won't mention, which one she likes. But the pirating website was so awful that they like spliced the movie from like 4 or 5 different ones. And okay, I know you've seen the movie, so spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoilers
for those of you who haven't.
Yeah, so you have time now.
Well,
click away.
I'm not gonna talk specifically about what happened.
Oh, okay.
But as any hero movie goes, they have the big showdown with the big bad,
Right, right.
and the movie switched to Spanish. I have no idea what happened in the main climactic part, only the certain things that I saw on screen, and I was like, what the flip is going on? And they're like,
Donde es baño?
"Me
I don't know
llamo
why they've
es-"
got to go to the bathroom, but okay.
Exactly. But it was like, what the? I don't know anything they're saying. And I'm like, I don't have a caption thing, so I can't do that.
Right, because they don't
This
do captions.
sucks.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks.
God,
But
that's bad.
the prices we pay, so we don't have to go to the movie theater.
Dude, just go. The E-Town's movie theater is like $6 at a matinee. Like,
Actually, I've heard there's a thing called, what is it, Movie Pass? You go online, you pay $10 a month, and you can watch one movie a day.
oh wow,
That's actually worth it.
Yeah, if you like to go to movies, that's pretty sweet.
Um,
Interesting.
but yes,
Good to know.
fun fact for you all.
Shameless plug.
Yep. So, if you would, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. We're going to try and section these things out from now on so that people can pick and choose what they want to listen to instead of listening to 2 to 3 minutes, which I found out on YouTube is our longest listener.
Right. So they're going to be shareable. They're going to be you can pop in and out. And if you want to listen to the long form is still going to be, we can have it on iTunes, that kind of thing. But if you just want to, bop around, they're talking about board games or booze or, whatever.
The random stuff that we talk about.
Various and sundry topics. Then you can click around and you can share it easily so people actually know what the heck's going on.
Alrighty. Thanks for you all for listening, and hope you enjoy the basketball game coming up, football game coming up, and let's go Tops.
All right, go Tops.